Welcome everybody to What's Your Take? I'm Andrew Phipps, and I'm very excited to be joined today by Hideaki Suzuki from our Japanese business and Jamie Shepherd from Greater China. So Jamie, to start with you. So what is it that's concerning clients at the moment?
Well, there's a number of things that they're having to deal with at the current time. Of course, looking at their portfolios and their assets and making sure that they are upgraded and as best possible can allow for any social distancing. Looking at the debt position for many of them. If there's refinancing coming up, they want to make sure that they can still secure refinancing. I think there's a bit of reshuffling going on, rebalancing of portfolios away from specific sectors. Sectors like hotel and retail still seeing huge challenges. But for other sectors, particularly logistics, we are seeing very strong interest and they are quite buoyant at the current time.
Hideaki, are you seeing any variations in Japan? Are there any particular issues that this crisis has brought to bear?
Investors are definitely seeing this as a buying opportunity. Logistics and multifamily have been really popular, especially by core investors. For logistics, for example, Japan's e-commerce penetration ratio is still 6.2% according to government number. Multifamily has also been popular among core investors because of its defensiveness of the sector. Data center is getting more and more interest from investors as well because of increasing data traffic because of teleworking and greater adoption of cloud computing services as well.
One of the big conversations at the moment we're hearing about is remote working and what impact that will have globally in terms of demand for office space. I'm just wondering if you could talk a little bit about that.
I think the impact initially for the China market was quite light because people were back to work very quickly. I think in other markets, we obviously seen this drag on a bit longer. People get more comfortable with remote working. Occupiers starting to realize, hang on a minute, there's an opportunity here for us to save money.
And is that similar in Japan, Hideaki?
One significant thing that we're already seeing is remote working as a new normal. For COVID-19, in Tokyo, no more than 10% of companies adopted a teleworking option for their staffs. However, because of this situation, almost forcing so many office workers to work from home is surely facilitating the option to be adopted quicker in a permanent way. And now the Japanese government is very, very serious about bringing digitalization into Japanese business scene and customs. So the COVID-19 outbreak is definitely changing the way people work and live.
So I don't know what it's been like in Japan, but I think many companies have been quite surprised at how productive staff have managed to be.
But I just wonder what you've been hearing or seeing about the co-working sector. Is it in the ascendancy or is something else happening?
Well, in China, I think over the first half of the year, the co-working sector has been very hard hit. And that's actually in Q1 had a significant impact in negative absorption, particularly in the Huangpu district in Shanghai, where many co-working operators pulled out of leases. However, what I would say is if you're looking at more of a corporate solution, where perhaps the fit-out is included, at a time when companies are not looking to perhaps spend huge amounts of capex on not a fit-out, etc., then there is an attractive opportunity there.
Japan's often been talked about as one of the heaviest investors in the sort of co-working space. Is it something that you expect to see in growth in Japan, in Tokyo, or is it something you also see as a challenging area right now?
Over the last 3 years, the co-working sector has rapidly grown in Japanese market because those tenants or those potential companies are currently assessing whether the flex space can be something for them to leverage for having satellite offices in multiple locations. Also, to assess any potential or chance for optimizing their headquarters. This event is surely a tailwind for co-working space and flex space on a long-term basis, I think.
So thank you for joining us once again on What's Your Take? Today it's been my pleasure to speak to Jamie in China and Hideaki in Japan. I look forward to joining you again soon on What's Your Take?